Hey YouTube, this is Edward, your favorite homeboy. As you can see, I just came back from the gym, did a little swim, got some laps in, and had to burn some calories to get ready for lunch here at Pho Dung so I can pig out. It's one of my favorite Vietnamese restaurants here in Northern Virginia, and it's right here in Centerville. You know, when people have a good meal, they usually ask the question, what's the secret ingredient? Well, one of the secret ingredients I'm going to share with you for my business is integrating mentors in my business. Why is mentors important to have in your business? Sure, you can run a business by yourself, but having mentors allows you to check your blind spots so you don't get sideswiped by some bad idea or something that's about to happen. So you can get fresh ideas and input into your ideas and get fresh perspectives. So I love having mentors in my business, and you should too. So what we're about to do is go into Pho Dung, and we're gonna meet with a bunch of people I call my Mastermind Group. And my Mastermind Group is one strategy I use to incorporate mentors in my business. So let's go. So there's different ways you can have a mastermind group. For example, tomorrow, I'm gonna meet with other property managers, and the mastermind group will be full of just my peers. And the good thing about that is, you know, there's gonna be people who haven't been there yet, and they're just starting out. And there's gonna be also some companies who are like 3 times my size. And so it's a great opportunity because it's industry specific. They might know some laws and policies that are specific to the industry. But it's also good to venture out from just your peers, because maybe there's some great idea they're not telling you about. So today what you're gonna find out is that everybody in this mastermind group is from a different industry. Not one industry is gonna be repeated twice. And that's gonna give me an even broader perspective on my business. So let's go and have some pho.
It's all exterior, but in days like today where it's starting to snow, people don't think about fixing things outside, and they fix things inside. So what do we focus on more, and how do we keep that business from the seasonal fluctuation that I normally see?
So the challenge is, how do we keep your guys busy?
Yep.
When I get slow, what I do is I pull out my list of existing customers. I call on them. I try and identify new cross-sell opportunities, but also I'm thanking them for their business continued patronage, because while they might not have anything for me today, as long as I reach out and I stay in front of them once a year, twice a year, whatever, my brand will stay up front too.
Incentivizing, that's what we do, because I have an in-house maintenance in Texas, and we just got it here. So we incentivize and say, hey, for the month of January or for the month of February, we're slow. And then a lot of people don't call until there's something wrong. And so what we've come up with is like a preventative maintenance package, and says, hey, for this set amount, we'll come out, we'll do the caulk or check the siding for rot or whatever. And just having a package, you know, where it's gutters, clean the gutters, the fall just happened. So trying to come up with something that they don't think about as a preventive maintenance.
One thing I'd like to know if any of you have used, test drove or used anything like Yelp or Home Advisor, and what your experience has been with them.
I can weigh in on Home Advisor. Home Advisor is all about response time. It's not, if you use an Angie's List, it's more about the reviews. They'll look at reviews, and Home Advisor will look at response time. So if you get a lead, you literally have 5 minutes to respond to that lead, or it's gone to somebody else. Because Home Advisor will send it out to 3 to 5 competitors. You have 5 minutes, and if you're the 5th person or 3rd contractor to reply, that customer is so ticked off at that point, because you're now the 3rd person that's called them for that same thing, that you don't want to be the 3rd person, you want to be the 1st. So if you can't respond within 5 minutes, don't use it.
My title company is it's a reputable title company. A lot of the people have been in the industry a really long time. They have a good book of business, but we struggle with growing our business, and the reason why is because of the real estate companies having what we call affiliated business arrangements with their title companies. So we have very little access to realtors, where, say, 10, 15 years ago, we were able to walk in and out of real estate offices, go to their parties, interact with them. And so the playing field was level, and now it is not. So my biggest challenge is, how do I combat that?
My take on it's real simple. It's go after the real estate community, right? That's obvious, but how, right? So it's relationships. Like the people I close with, even when I was with bigger companies that had affiliated companies, I didn't close with their company if I had a personal relationship with the closer. I knew that, you know, I knew them personally, I could trust them, they did a good job. I would stick with them.
I always ask the question, well, how many screw ups does it take for you to, or how many commissions lost does it take for you to go with somebody that you know is a seasoned professional, knows their game, or do you choose the people that somebody else is telling you they'd like to use because somebody else makes money on it, right? And when you put it like that to a real estate agent, as long as you've got the brand and you've got the references behind you to say, look, I don't screw up, that doesn't happen with my business, that will win out over, you know, their boss's boss telling them like, oh, hey, you should really use our title company because it's us. The problem I have with my business is moving from more of a production role to a managerial role where I spent years and years and years honing my craft and getting really good at my craft, but now my business has grown to the point where I really can no longer be the one that's in charge of making every sale or talking to every customer or dealing with every problem that pops up. So I have 2 employees, but I find it hard to delegate and kind of get out of that because I've got tried and true customers that only talk to me, only trust me. I've been their agent for almost 15 years. And so they call up and say, I want Bill. And I've got to figure out a way that I can say, sorry, you don't get billed today without making the customer mad.
I had to actually teach myself to call them and explain to them what my role is versus their role, and that they're going to do a great job. If they need anything behind that, kind of like what Trang said, you know, I'm always here for you. If you don't get any answers, or if it's something that you're not getting a response from that person, which is a service issue on my part, then, but I do also manage their expectations, which I wasn't good at, say 5 years ago, because I wanted everyone to call me because then I knew everything was being handled correctly and no one's going to drop the ball. And that's a good target. So right, so and you've got 2 people working for you that are you feel are confident enough that you will say, okay, you keep the ones that you know that only are going to want you, but then you're able to push them off and say, look, I'm here, I'm their safety net, but at the end of the day, they're going to do a great job for you. I mean, I think that's what you need to do. It's just, it's hard to let go because it's your baby.
Doing that handoff.
Yeah.
One of my challenges I'm focusing on right now, especially after the holidays, is organization between my home office and my office. I found recently that I had a file for a client at home and another file for a client in my office, and I was looking for notes, and I got home and I was like, there's the notes I was looking for, and I couldn't work on that project all day.
Real simple, I just take photos on my iPhone and then I email it to myself. That way it's in there, and then it's pretty easy to organize because you can even set up folders in Outlook.
Yeah, I have
for customers or whatever. And so like I do a lot of that where somebody hands me a piece of paper, I snap a photo and just email it to myself, or, you know, then take the JPEG and save it into their file that I have on my computer.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that too.
So I'm hearing paperless.
This is the only way to go. You
I
can't
know.
Our typical overhead, our national average overhead is 65%.
Wow.
For every dollar that we collect, national average, we spend 65 cents. Our office is very comparable to that, but it's Northern Virginia. It's it's higher.
Equipment is expensive too.
Equipment is actually the number one is payroll, and especially for my office, I'm the kind of person I want to make sure the best we can do to give our patient the best care. So we don't go cheap on our staff.
It does matter to a certain extent what people get paid, but that's not why they leave or why they stay. It's always something else. Maybe then you can also evaluate for yourself your anxiety level, if it's justified that, oh, my employees are going to run away, or it might do the opposite and give you confidence, like they're very happy. I could pay them less, I won't, but and they would still stay.
When I sit down with an HR person, I'm like, look, let's clear the BS. Like, I have a business. My business thrives if people buy things from it. Right. So my whole goal is I sell more if I'm a good dude and I look out for your employees.
Right.
I sell a lot more. And then I know that next time you go to the Society for Human Resources Management conference, you're going to tell everybody, hey, I got this insurance guy that's really good, and I get other calls from HR people because of it. So that's when I sit down, and the way that I get the appointment is I call them and I say, hey, look, I'd like to come sit down with you for 5 or 10 minutes. If it goes longer than that, it's because of you. You're asking questions. So I'm limiting my time to 5 or 10 minutes. I'll go over if you have questions, and I'm happy to sit there all day if you need me to. But the program is very simple, and I'd like to explain it to you in 5 or 10 minutes. Do you have time to eat a donut while I talk to you next Tuesday at 10 a.m.?
I don't think that's my personality, but
But it is, because you're out there.
I'll go with 2 donuts and very sticky.
Yeah.
But I love that.
But that's it. So you sit down, and what you do is you position your services.
Right.
Stop talking to me like it's not just.
Okay, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the video of the inside scoop of our mastermind meeting inside Faux Dung. We do it once a month, and sometimes we have 5, 6 people. This time we had 8 people, which is quite a bit, so we had to move pretty quickly. Anyways, I hope you liked the video. Comment below and let me know, do you have mentors in your business? Do you have a mastermind group? If you do have a mastermind group, how do you run it? Again, comment below, join the discussion, and hope to see you in the next video. This is your favorite homeboy signing out. One of the questions they ask is, what's the secret ingredient? Well, we got a phone call. This lunch meeting, how I run a mastermind group, and see how you can, oh man, at Faux Dung. Faux Dung is one of my favorite Vietnamese places, one of the best places in Northern Virginia. Oh, come on, man.